Hi, I'm Mr. Prusner. As an ESL teacher, I do my best to include lots of visual elements in my lessons. I've always admired the visual arts, like photography, drawing, painting, and comics. Graphic fiction is fascinating to me. Writing it requires a high level of critical thinking. I've often wondered, how might my students benefit from showing what they know about literary elements by creating their own comics? This year, through a grant from Derechos through Texas A&M Commerce, I was given the opportunity to come up with a research question to explore. In this, my first experience in action research, I learned that paying attention and just being curious about whatever happens can be a powerful way to learn more about education. Our text, to guide us in our research, was an extremely helpful book entitled Living the Questions by Hubbard and Power. From it, I learned that, quote, turning tensions into a research question can be the best mental stress reducer at a teacher's disposal. Originally, my research questions were concerned with many possible genres of print media. But as the research took shape, I narrowed my focus to this. What happens to students when they write, design, and publish a work of graphic fiction? What happens to engagement in learning? To their empowerment or ownership of the writing and publishing process? To their content knowledge? To their craft knowledge? And to their communication skills? Through the grant, I was provided with cameras, a scanner and printer, double-sided photo paper, and everything we needed to produce a quality publication. My research partners for this project were the students in my 11th grade ESL English classes. As we worked toward our goal, I collected as much data as possible: student surveys, interviews, pre-writing and rough drafts, photos, videos of class discussions, and of course, their finished comic books. Let's take a look at the journey we took together. First, we analyzed a variety of examples of graphic fiction. To get a better idea of how comics work, we looked at several examples from Scott McCloud's brilliant books, Understanding Comics and Making Comics. We discussed mood, tone, setting, characterization, theme, plot elements, and story pacing. Author and writing instructor Gretchen Burnaby says that writing tracks the movement of the mind. I was amazed at how well graphic fiction captures and breaks down an experience into critical moments with endless possibilities of style and content. I created a one-page comic to introduce the requirements of the project. The students could either adapt a short story into a comic or create their own original work. But either way, they had to have poetic devices, characterization, plot and conflict, and theme. The students were eager to get started.
So this is what I have done so far. This is a comic book that I have done, and the part that I really liked the most was I was able to put all my ideas and thoughts into those 6 pages, which is pretty cool. And the conflict is about these 2 guys that I used to have them for middle school, and they kept bullying on me, picking on me, and all that stuff. And the problem was that, and the resolution was that at the end we became friends. We became really, really good friends.
So it's a true story?
Yes, it is a true story.
So how did you, when you started putting your story on paper, how did you pick the most important moments?
Well, I tried to pick the events that I still remember, of course, and the part when we became friends, that's a pretty good moment.
Can you show me where the conflict starts?
The conflict starts in this page, like in the first page, when they were picking on me, and the resolution is in the last page where we became friends.
You know, set it on the desk.
This is the part where we became friends and all this stuff.
Okay, great. I like how you had the introduction, where you're kind of like sitting on the couch, you know, saying, "Hey, my name's Heriberto, and I'm going to tell you a story about."
Well, I try to use everything that I have learned so far. I try to use similes and flashbacks and all that stuff.
What was one of the similes that you used?
One of the similes I use when I compare myself to a tiger.
And you also said you ran like a rabbit, right?
Yeah,
like running away from the bullies. So
Yeah.
awesome. That's great. Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'm going to draw with my partner, and we're going just because we already finished the comic. It's a comic book, right? Like it's a story,
Yes.
and then we need to draw and put like in this say first, and second, and third in orders, and then just we need to draw and then the dialogues and then the narration. Just that, and we're finished.
Good. So you have the whole story planned out. All you have to do is kind of put the images together. Okay, awesome. Great.
Thank you.
What were some challenges you ran into whenever you were making this? What were some parts that you thought?
Taking out stuff. I had to cut pretty much half of it just to lemon. Just put like lemon on it. But it was a little here and there. I mean, I thought I was able to do the whole thing, but I ended up taking some parts out. And I was like, so,
Yeah, you had a lot of good ideas, a lot of good dialogue.
yeah, so I didn't think it was going to be this hard, but just drawing wise, when I draw, I normally just draw like, just stuff, but this is like adds storyline, metaphors and stuff like that, It's a little, I don't know, I guess I have more respect for people that write comics now, because I can see the much of time it takes up and everything, and how much devotion and motivation, it's harder to finish something and start it up. Hopefully you'll enjoy it either way.
Okay, I can't wait to read it. It looks awesome, and I think you have some really good characters, and the whole mood and the tone of the setting, the way the story unfolds. I think it's pretty awesome.
Making it epic.
Yeah, it's definitely epic. You are definitely writing with that kind of epic tone. So, well done. All right, thank you. Which question are you working on?
On the conflict.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the conflict in your comic.
It's about a girl and two boys, but the girl is cheating with the boys.
Okay.
And that's the first story. And the second one is about a superhero and a monster that is destroying the city.
Okay, so you have more than one conflict.
Yes.
Good. Now, is there internal conflict? Remember we talked about internal conflict? Is that inside or outside a character?
Inside.
Right. So, what is one of the character's internal conflicts?
Sarah.
Okay. What does she have to? What is her conflict?
To decide about one love or other love, but she make a big problem for that wrong decision.
Okay. Good. So does her conflict grow into a climax, a moment when everything changes?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens with her?
She get in love with the superhero.
Okay, good. So she had 2 boyfriends, and then she cheated on one of them,
Yeah.
and then was saved by the superhero.
Yes.
So now she has a new super boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So is it a happy ending?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank
Three
you.
boyfriends.